another joyful journey. Today we're going to talk about layers. You know, you see layers all around you. You look up in the sky and you see layers of clouds. You go like places like out in the desert, you'll see like the Grand Canyon, the layers that have built up the mountains and the canyons. Then you go to a birthday party and you'll see a birthday cake, and boy, and you cut into those beautiful layers. So today we have a brand new instrument from Cinematique Instruments, Stratum. And stratum literally means layers. And this is a hybrid type of instrument that focuses on strings. So we've got a combination of like organic real strings from, small chamber ensembles, all the way to the full symphonic string sections. And then you pair that with the classic synthesizers, the CS family, let's say, and the JX family, and so many other amazing different ways of bringing the analog aspect of strings. And then the magic happens when you put them together. Yeah, so let's go. Let's dive in. So when I first took a look at this interface, it was like everything's right here. Let's just take a quick tour. And this is the pad that I was playing, Analog Dream. And we can see that you've got 4 different sound sources in 2 sections. The organic section, and then you come over and you have the synthetic, the synth, the meat. And then we can blend between those using the mod wheel here. Yeah. And each of these sections, the organic and the synth, have 2 subsections. We've got all of these different sound sources. We've got over 70 sound sources available, and 46 of those are from the synth and the analog side, the textures. Then we have 24 that are the real world symphonic strings, from really interesting fragile chamber strings all the way up again to the symphonic. You can select those sound sources for each one of these and save your own presets. There are like 36 presets that we have available, and then you can always do your own. So what we'll do, let's load up another patch. This is called Both Worlds. The thing that you're going to notice is that these sounds are Phat. They're just so big. Listen to that rumble, that grit. Let's just turn this over to the organic side. We can solo. This is the 2D sober. And they've got it at the lowest octave. What we can do with this first slider, this kind of adjusts the volume of the part. Then we have the octave, and we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5, we can go up and down This is at the lowest, so we can just go up a couple. And we've got this drive. You hear that grit. That's because we've got this drive pulled up. And that's a little cleaner when we turn that down. And then this next section, this is we have the bass. Yeah, you hear that? And then we have this EQ. And the EQ here allows us to select between high pass, low pass, and then a tilt. And it was on the high pass, that's why it sounds like that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's very intuitive just to get right to where you want to go. The tilt EQ is kind of interesting. Yeah. And then let me just show you a couple other things here while we're here. You can see that we've got this little icon here, and we can pan it back and forth. So we can kind of offset the individual parts, you know, in the stereo field, left and right. Very cool. And then when you click on the volume, it'll solo those parts so we can listen to what's going on. And you listen to these other sounds and they're just so big. Yeah, but you've got simple waveforms and then you have the more complex things that are going on. Okay, let's just keep exploring. This is Bowden Raw. We've got violins, the 2D orchestra, moon phase, and tinnitus. Just having those engines like that to be able to bring in the organic and the synth and all those rich things happening. Yeah. Yeah, that's the synth side. And the thing about the tinnitus waveform is that, let's just solo that. It's pure. It's this pure tone. And what that does when you layer it, see, here we go with the layers. This is the moon phase. Everything kind of starts interacting with each other. And you can, it's like, you have this ability to kind of mix and blend. Let's check out this violin move texture here, or it's not static, it's got some motion, and that creates even more interest with the layers, yeah. Let me just bring them all back in. It's just gorgeous. You've got the delicate on top, and then you've got that warmth and fatness on the bottom here. It's really cool. Dark and duster and velocity kind of helps. And you can automate that and assign it to, you know, any CC. You can learn different CCs, and that gives you the flexibility to use that as a really cool mix and blend control. Okay, let's keep going here. Dark rising. And here we have, again, like the violin and cello, that moving. Let's listen to that. Beautiful recordings. Okay, let's keep going. Check out some more of the patches here. Let's go to deep synth. Got 3 violins, 6 cellos, just buzzing and just square over here. Check out what's going on with the organic side. You've got chamber ensembles, like chamber strings. It's the violins and then the cello. Yeah. And then if you take a look, down at the bottom, you have just a basic envelope control. You've got like the attack and decay. That's why that's kind of ringing out a little bit. But you can just turn these. Just kind of make that. It's a very simple but very powerful way to control the attack and decay. Endless. You have that decay set to 99. The attack at 76, so it kind of swells up. And reverb, you've got different impulse responses for the reverb. And this one was used in the church, but you have room, chamber, analog, plate, space, church, cloud, and infinite. So maybe we'll come across a patch that uses maybe like some of the different ones. Hybrid moon. Now this one uses the cloud reverb. And we've got a very long attack. Yeah, those impulse response reverbs, it just makes, it just takes it, puts it in this beautiful space. Let's get down here. And that, again, that cloud reverb just lets it go and go and go. Lovely. With the strings here, we've got the 9 violins and then the tutti section. It's bright. A lot of these are going to be just slow fade in, beautiful pads. And the layers make it so complex and beautiful. It's just so many things going on inside of these different parts as they're layered together. And this is using the analog. I've got to look down at the bottom again real quick. We have this randomize. So we can reset and hit that reset, and that'll just put everything at the default. And then let's hit the randomize and hear what happens with this. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to hit it like 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all the parameters and all the sources and settings are randomized. And of course, if you come up with something that you like randomizing, you can save that preset. Let's randomize it again. Let's do it 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you look, we've got bowed guitar. Wow, that's kind of cool. And tutti classic, which is like the classical string sections all playing together. And then the Selena, which is one of the iconic string machines. And then the CS family, which is those iconic synths that you just have to hear to believe. That's cool. Okay, so what do we have next? Yeah, Mellotron. So we've got a couple of Mellotron patches here that'll be interesting. The thing about the Mellotron is that it's like that tape sound. Mod wheel lets us blend these back and forth. Mystery Jupiter. And this has that dark Jupiter. And Saw. Different approaches, and you bring them together. more of these. Phat 80. Okay, we got to check that out. A lot of times the name of the patch just kind of brings ideas and you almost kind of get into like the plucked category. Yeah, so you can go from subtle to just boom, right in your, yeah, Phat. Yeah, that is Phat for sure. Saturine. There's so much more that we can explore. It's using that cloud reverb again. Also add a little bit of chorus. And the interface is just so accessible. You've got flutter in this mod section. It's like a tape. Just kind of get it a little off kilter a little bit, Wow, it's beautiful. So not only can we browse for patches in the media bay here, but we can use the macro page and we can click in this area. This will also bring up the different categories, the classic and hybrid. And these are the same patches that show up in Media Bay, but these are integrated right into the instrument itself. Super 8. I mean, just some very beautiful Phat sounds. And so I'm just going to use that integrated browser here. Warm clouds. And this has the CS family and the JX3P strings here. I remember the first time I ever saw a JX3P. It was pretty cool. I've never seen a CS80 in person. That would be quite the experience. Let's go to one of the classic, and let's listen to. We've got these different types of sources in the strings. We've got like the fragile, and let's go back. Let me just. It's kind of like right on the edge. Just has a very fragile, gives you all those little extra harmonics and things happening there. And then we have these move, and that just, let's do the same thing here. Violin 1, viola, and cello. Let's listen to that. Just kind of playing around. It just helps keep things from getting too static sounding. Now let's see. And now when you have it with the 2D, those together. Let's put the cloud reverb on this one. You know, one thing about the HALion platform, HALion and HALion Sonic, is that you are not limited to just one instrument, really. And we're going to take the concept of layers even further, because when you go into HALion, we can add instruments into these different slots. And HALion Sonic has a similar approach. You have 16 slots in HALion Sonic. One of the first things that I thought about doing was putting in one of the pianos. So I'm going to pull up Etude, and then let's pull up the ethereal grand. One of the other aspects is that you go to the MIDI page. You need to assign that second slot to MIDI channel 1, and that way they'll both be triggered at the same time. I'm going to mute the Stratum for just a second so we can. Now let's bring up Saturnia. You see, talk about layers. Isn't that amazing? You lost me there for just a second. But instantly you have that, the magic of layers just kind of comes to life. So I thought I would try one more thing. Let's go ahead and, if you've got the full version of HALion, or if you have FM Lab, let's pull in that classic E piano. And again, we've got to make sure it's on channel 1. And that's just a blast from the past. And I'm going to keep it on Saturnia because that is just such a beautiful patch. Let's bring that up just a little bit. Just got all that richness. And why not? Let's bring the etude back in. Just as long as, you know, we can handle this. Bring the etude up just a little bit more. Layers. This is the magic. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this beautiful deep dive into all of these wonderful layers, courtesy of Cinematique Instruments and Stratum. I want to thank Steinberg for allowing me to share this beautiful instrument and spending some time with you today. And, you know, just make some beautiful music. We've got so many amazing tools. Until next time, this is Simeon reminding you to always stay joyful.